Welcome back to another episode of Loud and Ugly Garage. We've got that drive shaft loop finish up. Dad TIG welded this with his new welder. We got the car on the hoist, so I'll show you what it looks like with it all bolted up in there. And then we're gonna do a little bit of work on getting the fuel cell mounted in the trunk of the car. And then also we have to do some rearranging to get the new radiator to mount to the radiator bracket that we built in the car originally. All right, we're gonna cruise on under here so I can show you what this looks like. Jordan, come on over here. Got the light because it's a little dark in the garage right now. So this is the upper piece of the drive shaft loop that's gonna be bolted solid here. We still have to drill holes in the base plate of these and right here for the lower section to mount to. But then it'll be removable. We can still pull a drive shaft. This one's welded in solid, but this one will be removable. That way we can spin it either way. Moving on to the back of the car here. Before we painted the car, we drilled the holes in the trunk pan for the fuel cell to mount up to. And then we also drilled this big old hole here, which it's got some junk on it right now. I didn't really drill it either. It's not round, it's cut out. But this is where our fuel cell is going to pop through the bottom so that we can get to our fittings here on the bottom of the tank to run our fuel lines. We've already got the fuel cell sitting inside of the trunk here. This is just an eBay special, but it came with nice AN fitting adapters down there. This is going to be our inlet where we fill from. We got our vents. So I don't know how much this was on eBay, but my dad found it and got it for Cal for Christmas. Okay, the fuel cell, like I said, we had already pre-drilled these holes and then cut that slot out for the fuel lines to go. This is a battery box. This got like a little white coating on it. It's an aluminum one, just like I have in Loud and Ugly, that we'll have to mount up to the frame. Per NHRA rules, it has to be mounted to the frame. This is my old Holly blue fuel pump here and fuel filter off Loud and Ugly. So Cal's scoring some parts from Loud and Ugly to get this car running. But we're gonna get this stuff mounted up and then we'll start working on that radiator. All right, to mount this up, we only needed one shim up in this front right corner because we're dealing with the original body lines on this trunk. So this rib here actually is holding it up. It sweeps up a little bit in the back. So the back two are good and this front left one are, but we're gonna put a little spacer on the front right. All right, we're getting this polished off for Cal to add some fuel and fire it up.
You'll probably put some crooked stickers on it too.
Oh, jeez. We've got the fuel filter and fuel pump we're going to mount up next. This is a gravity feed style pump, so it does have to be, your inlet on the pump needs to be lower than the outlet on the tank. That way it can gravity feed to that. We're putting the filter after it. There is an in and an out on these filters as well, so you want to make sure that that's set up right. But these will be on the frame rail on the passenger backside of the car. Well, we're gonna botch up Cal's frame here and drill 4 nice holes all the way through the frame rail and you know, scuff a little paint off of it. This pretty car, all freshly painted. Center punch some holes so I know where to run this drill at. All right, now that I'm deaf, because that was super loud, we're gonna drill these holes out. Nice. Who loves drilling holes? No one on the planet of Earth. There we go. I scuffed up Cal's frame a little bit. Nice. All right, now we got to get it perfectly level straight through the other side of the frame rail so we can run them big long bolts through it. That's where the fun starts. And the way we do that is just make her look level and send it. So I spun this Holley blue pump around so that the inlet was on this side of the pump. That way when we come out of the tank, we don't have to run it over here and then loop it around and do all that jazz. So just want to make sure that those are, oh, look it, the hardware doesn't fit through there. So now we're going to have to drill those out a little bit. All right, let's do that. All right, now let's see if that fits. Like a glove. Perfect. Perfect size burr bit. All right, now we're back in business. Maybe we can mount these up now. All right, mounting the fuel pump 2.0. We're gonna see if we can get this stuff to all line up good. See if my hole drilling was good enough. Could have probably just put one in at a time, would have worked better, but there we go. Throw a flat washer and a lock washer on there. All right, we're not gonna go too crazy on those because it's just through the frame rail. Boom, Holley blue engaged. Now we're gonna throw this inline fuel filter on the frame. Try to line these bolt holes up. It's like a mystery. It's super fun. There's one, there's two. Boom. So fuel tank mounting up in there solid. We've got the fuel pump mounted solid and the fuel filter. We're gonna have to get some fuel line for the next episode. Run it from the tank to the pump, to the filter, and then all the way up to the carburetors up front. We got a couple Edelbrocks that we're gonna be rebuilding and building some custom linkage for the tunnel ram that's on this 355 motor in the car. That'll be probably a next episode, us starting to hook up fuel lines, and we'll work on that radiator mounting next episode as well.